So the boss has been complaining about this glare on our TV for several years, and it was obscene. It really is obscene. There's no other word for it. So it was time to do something about it. And we heard the Frame 2022 version, not the 2021 or 2020. The 2022 version of the Frame has this matte finish that is almost, I mean, you could see. This is the worst case scenario. We're like directly across from windows. Really nowhere else to put this TV in this apartment. But look at the difference. The left side, our old Samsung TV, is like a mirror. Right, so let's take it out of the box. We call it deboxing because we refuse to do unboxings here. Throw your scissors away. You don't need these things for these plastic packing strips. Just peel them apart. I used to work in a warehouse, and they just pull apart like that. Look at that. No fuss, no muss. And you don't cut open the top. Just lift up. Now, you want to be careful with this because you don't want to knock it over, especially if you're on a concrete or tile floor. Just be kind of ginger with it. Kind of grab the box, and I set it right behind there. Here, you have your nice little piece of styrofoam. There's a ton of styrofoam, so good luck throwing all this stuff. It's going to take like an entire garbage bag to get rid of all this stuff. Now, the wall mount hardware is included, and this thing really lives to be mounted on the wall like a piece of art, because it is kind of like an art frame, and that's where the name came from. Get it? So everything you need is here. They have these cutout instructions where you can tape these on the wall, use a level, make sure it's straight. If you're going to put the cords inside the wall, you're going to need a different cable. We'll talk about that in a second. But everything you need is in here. The diagrams, tape these up on the wall. Now, some people look at other YouTube videos for installing it on the wall. I'm in an apartment, so I can't do it here, and I'm dying to do it because we've hung every other TV we've ever had in our home. And when our new home's done, we're going to do this again. So we will put an updated video out when that happens. But everything you need to mount this thing on a wall, just like an art frame in a gallery, is here. And again, there's a bunch of YouTube videos that will show you how to do this properly. Some issues with the instructions, apparently. It's not as easy as it seems. So watch these videos. You might need to drill a little bit off to the left or right. But there's a lot of really good information for free. And take a look at that before you attempt to do that. But everything you need is in this box. Really, all the hardware is here. Everything except the tools. Now, these screws, these anchors are pretty deep, so you want to definitely put that into a nice stud somewhere in the wall. You don't just want to anchor it into drywall because this TV is pretty heavy. Look at the size of the anchors. Woo! Yeah, they're going to have to go in there. Just make sure that goes into a stud somehow. And again, everything you need is right in this box, and this is great. So I'm just going to put this away until our house is done, and we're going to pull it out and install that on the wall. We'll do a video when that's ready to go. Now, don't throw your box out yet. There's some important stuff in here. This is your controller box, the One Connect, the one box to control them all. And also you have table mounts, which we are going to use here in the apartment because we're not allowed to mount things on the wall. I want us drilling in the studs here. So this is neat. It only goes in one way, and there's plenty of support here. And there's two choices for your height. We opted for the higher one. I'm sorry, so we're going to put our sound bar underneath it. Had an issue with the sound bar. We'll talk about that in a moment as well. So they just slide right in here. They are removable if you want to remove those, which we're going to do when we mount it on the wall. So you just pop these guys in either side. Plenty of support for the weight. It's not going anywhere. Don't worry. She's not going to tip over. These things they're plastic, but they're stronger than they look. Slide them right in there till they can't go any further. Again, we opted for the higher position. There is one that's a little lower that almost sits right on the table. Look at them swinging this thing around like a He-Man. But look at the difference in that glare. That is mind-blowing. And people are saying you to sacrifice the picture because of the glare. There is a little bit of a contrast difference. But now once you look at it in the dark, side by side, I couldn't really tell the difference. This old TV is 6 years old. It's a Samsung QLED, one of the first ones. And an amazing picture on these Samsung televisions, including the frame as well, which we'll see in a second. All right, so this is the One Connect box. Now, this is so you can mount, when you mount your frame on the wall, you have one thin little cable coming down the wall. And that connects to this box, which gives it power, and also you've got your 4 HDMI ports, and you can hook it up to a sound bar. It also has an Ethernet jack in the back for nice, stable, rock-solid 4K connectivity. So it also has an optical out if you want to connect it to a sound bar. There's the One Connect that connects to the TV. Now, if you want to plug your video game in, only port number 4 offers 120 hertz resolution, so remember that. I don't know what the deal is with that, but that's how Samsung decided to make it. So you're going to plug in your PS5, plug it into port number 4. This is the really thin cable that comes down the wall. It's almost invisible. It's kind of cool that they made it clear so it'll kind of shine through the wall. If you want to put it inside the wall, you will need to purchase a different cable that is rated for in-wall installations. I've seen people drop this cable in the wall and they're fine, but technically you're supposed to have a different cable that Samsung does sell that goes inside the wall. It's fire rated differently and more heat resistant, I suppose. Here's the power cord. There is no separate ground plug on here, which I found interesting, but in most normal households with safe electric power, you're going to be okay. You probably want to plug that into a surge protector, though, protect that TV, or some kind of battery backup, because it's an expensive piece of hardware. Here's your remote. This is interesting because you can charge it with a solar. This is neat. You got Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime Video, and your Samsung TV Plus. And this is really neat because Samsung TV Plus is a streaming service. It is ad supported, but it's free, and there's dozens of channels with news, with entertainment, with weather even. Unbelievable how many channels are included, and they just connect right over the internet. No cable TV necessary. To set it up, you can use the remote, or you can connect to your phone, your Samsung account on your phone. And the art mode is what's really interesting here. When you power the TV off, it goes into art mode. You can power the whole thing off with a long press of the power button, but if you just press it just like a regular off button, it's going to switch into art mode, which is really cool, which is why people buy these things, because now it's an artistic picture. It's a piece of art hanging on your wall. And that's really the beauty of these things. We don't have the bezel yet. We're going to order a bezel. We're trying to figure out what color. There's a bunch of different colors. You can buy them just about anywhere, including on Amazon or from Samsung yourself. Now look at this glare. Look, no glare. This is unbelievable. This is directly across 3 giant windows on a beautiful sunlit day. It's incredible, right? Look at the difference. Like, you could barely see this. It was virtually unusable during the day. So we're showing the same trailer on both TVs, and just look at this. It's just, you can't see anything on the left side. The right side is completely usable. The colors, oh my goodness, Samsung's done a great job with the colors on the Frame 2022. They just pop. Unbelievable. And this is broad daylight right across from the windows here. Now, you can pay for the art subscription, which gets you well-known artists on your TV, which will scroll, or you can import, like I did. I do my own art, and you can import your own art and your own pictures through the Samsung SmartThings app. And I've actually imported my own artwork on here, and you can change your frame style, the color of your mat, and have a little bit of fun with some of the artistic effects. But this is the game changer right here. Being able to watch TV or display art in your home, office, or wherever during the day without that nasty glare. And that's where Samsung really made this game-changing TV. We love it. It is awesome. I think you're going to love it too.